Magandang gabi, gininto ang tagapaglingkod ng Himpapawid. Kami ang pangkat-7 at kami ay naparito upang inyong matunghayan ang aming presentasyon patungkol sa Region 4B, Southwestern Tagalog, also known as Mimaropa. Ang lahat ay inaanyayahang makinig, buksan ang isipan tungo sa panibagong kaalaman. And now please welcome Ms. Kyla Isabel Garciliano for our first reporter.
Magandang araw, ako si Kyla Isabel Garciliano at ngayon aming sasabihin sa inyo kung ano nga ba ang meron sa Mimaropa at ano nga ba ang mga ang probinsya dito. Mimaropa. So, Mimaropa, otherwise called Region 4B, is an area of the Philippines situated in Luzon. The name is an acronym that stands for its region, which are Mindoro. So, ang Mindoro may dalawang provinces, which is Occidental and Oriental, Marinduque, Romblon, and Palawan. So, Mimaropa lies at the southern part of Luzon. The region has 5 provinces, 2 cities, 71 municipalities, and 1,459 barangays. The region was created on May 17, 2002. Ayun nga, ang nag-divide sa kanila ay si President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo noong May 17, 2002. Ito ay in-issue siya noong sa Executive Order 103 at pinaghati sila sa Region 4A at Region 4B. So bakit nga ba sila pinaghati? Pinaghati din sila dahil sa size kasi malaki at para mataguyod ang kahusayan sa gobyerno at mapabilis ang pagpapaunlad ng panlipunan at pang-ekonomiya at pagbutihin ang mga serbisyong publiko. So, yun. At saka nga pala, nung nagkaroon sila ng problema. So ang Palawan gustong ilipat sa Region 6. Tinawag at noong nagkaroon ng executive order na 429 na i-move ang Palawan sa Region 6 noong May 23, 2005. At tinawag na itong Mimaro instead na Mimaropa. Pero yung mga city sa Palawan, parang hindi sila sumang-ayon kasi hindi sila hininga ng opinion or nagkaroon ng kakulangan ng konsulta. Bakit nga ba basta-basta na lang magagano na ililipat agad sa Region 6? Pero ang gusto talaga ng mga Palaweños, magstay sila sa Region 4B. At dahil dyan, nagkaroon ng Administrative Order number 129 at na-issue ito noong August 19, 2005 para ma-address itong problemang to. Ito ay nagkaroon ng approval na i-transfer na ang Mimaropa sa Region 4 para maging okay na lahat. Yon. So, ayun nga, naging okay na lahat. Nagstay na ang Palawan sa Region 4B. So, pumunta naman tayo sa provinces and its capital. So, 'di ba ang Mimaropa ay Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, and Palawan. So, ang Mindoro may dalawa siyang provinces which is Occidental and Oriental. So, dumaho tayo sa Occidental. Occidental Mindoro is an agricultural area devoted to the production of food. Its economic base is rice production, or rice is sativa culture, a Philippine staple crop. It is the leading activity and the source of seasonal employment in the province, participated by almost 80% of the population, including the children. And then Occidental Mindoro offers more than its inspiring views of paddy field and mountain ranges with unspoiled white beaches, underwater paradise, and other captivating sights. The province is promising hub for sustainable tourism. So makikita niyo naman sa picture, napakaganda talaga ng Occidental Mindoro. Makikita niyo na sobrang linis ng beach nila, sobrang dito kayo pwedeng mag-relax or pwedeng relax. So ito, next is Mamburao. Ang Mamburao, yan ang capital ng Occidental Mindoro. So ang Mamburao ay came from my Bulao na expression siya ng Mangyan, the indigenous inhabitants of the island of Mindoro, na ang meaning nun ay dirt's gold. Mamburao is a coastal municipality in the province of Occidental Mindoro. It served as the provincial capital. Next is the Oriental Mindoro. So dito sa Oriental Mindoro is now acclaimed as one of the visited provinces in the region and one of the major tourist destinations in the Philippines. And dito sa Oriental Mindoro, dito nyo mapupuntahan yung pinakasikat na Puerto Galera. Oriental Mindoro is rich and arable land is suitable for agriculture. It produces large quantities of rice, corn, coconut, vegetables, and fruits like calamansi, banana, rambutan, marang or uloy, lanzones, and durian. For that, Oriental Mindoro is also known as the rice granary and fruit basket of southern Tagalog. So, this clearly confirms that the province's colorful and meaningful traditions, as well as its exquisite spots, the richness of culture, the beauty of its places, the wealth of our environment, and the best of its people are infinite sources of our pride as Mindoreños. Calapan. So, Calapan naman ang capital ng Oriental Mindoro. Calapan is a coastal component city in the province of Oriental Mindoro. It served as the provincial capital as well as the regional center of Mimaropa. So dito yata sa Calapan, kung gusto niyo pumunta sa Oriental Mindoro, dito muna kayo unang bababa. Kasi dito yung mga babaan ng mga barko. So punta naman tayo sa the heart of the Philippines, Marinduque. Marinduque is called the heart of the Philippines. Bakit? Dahil ito ay similar sa human heart at yung location ng arrangement of archipelago ay similar siya sa anatomy of where the heart is in the human body. And dito sa Marinduque, hindi kayo makakakita ng mga fast food chain like Jollibee, McDo, and KFC like that. And the province is one of the cattle producers for Manila during Spanish times. Next is capital ng Marinduque, Boac. It's the first-class municipality and the capital of the province of Marinduque, Philippines, and known as one of the main venues of annual Moriones Festival. So dito nga sa Boac, dito ginaganap ang pinakasikat na Moriones Festival, and it's the location of number of historical sites in Marinduque, including the Boac Cathedral Fortress Church, Pastorate, and Liwasan ng Kalayaan, Laylay Fort, and the Battle of Pasay. So ito yung mga picture nila. Ayan. Next ay Romblon. So Romblon is strategically situated at the center of yung picture na yan, hindi siya yung Romblon, nagkamali na ako, sorry. Romblon is strategically situated at the center of the Philippine archipelago. It is composed of 3 major islands, Tablas, Sibuyan, and Romblon, and 17 smaller islands. Romblon is surrounded by deep waters. So Romblon, ang capital niya talaga is mismong Romblon. And Romblon is the province relies on agriculture talaga, and particularly rice and copra farming as well as fishing, at yun yung parang sa livelihood nila. So Romblon is the marble capital of the Philippines. So dahil ang Romblon ay may lucrative marble industry due to abundance of Italian quality. So it is the moniker as the moniker as the marble capital of the Philippines. So sa Romblon, in the recent years, ang province na to ay naging ecotourism destination, and with the several white sand beaches, scuba diving spots, and mountains and rainforests that tourists visit annually. So next, and the last is the Palawan. So Palawan is the archipelago of 1,780 islands on the western part of the Philippines. It has the most concentration of islands, but is the most sparsely populated region in the country. Because of scenic landscape and the high biodiversity, Palawan is known as the last ecological frontier of the Philippines. So makikita nyo naman, Palawan, sobrang ganda niya. Yun talaga yung amazing tourist destination, especially for the mga foreigners na pumunta dito. Makikita niyo yung untouched islands, yung mga limestone cliffs, coral reefs, misty mountains, and teeming wildlife. Palawan is a paradise and is known for its 3 major destinations. So, ang destination niya ay Puerto Princesa, El Nido, and Coron. So, Palawan has managed to preserve its beautiful and natural habitat through the years. Yan. Makikita niyo dyan kung gaano maganda ang Palawan. Next is the Puerto Princesa. Yan yung capital ng Palawan. So, Puerto Princesa is the capital of the province of Palawan. The city has been acclaimed several times as the cleanest and greenest city in the Philippines, with a wide range of attractions ranging from beaches to wildlife reserves. Puerto Princesa, Puerto Princesa is a nature lover paradise. So, ayun nga, Puerto Princesa talaga ay marami din pumupunta dito dahil ito rin yung capital ng Palawan at pwede ka dito mag-boat trips through the massive limestone caves, underground river of the biodiverse Puerto Princesa. And dito mo din makikita yung mga home to long-nosed dolphins, yung mga turtles and rays. And close to the port, no, is yung 19th century na Immaculate Conception Cathedral. Dito mo rin makikita sa Puerto Princesa. And today, Puerto Princesa is a tourist city with many beach resorts and seafood restaurants. And it has been acclaimed several times as the cleanest and greenest city in the Philippines. So that's all. Thank you so much for listening.
Ayan, ngayon dumako naman tayo sa bodies of water ng Region 4B. Ito na yung bodies of water na Region 4B. First is the Kayangan Lake. It's a crystal clear freshwater lake in Coron featuring underwater rock formation, caves, and islands. It's a popular spot for photographers for fairly obvious reasons, and it is said to be the clearest lake in the Philippines. The water is so clear that you can often see down to the depth of 10 meters, enabling even non-swimmers to see the untouched rock formations of the viewpoint of the lake. Sabi nga nila, this is considered the most photographed spot in Palawan. Pansin nyo, pag may advertisement na nilalabas ang Palawan State Government, laging kasali ang lugar na ito. Sabi nga nila, hindi daw kumpleto ang trip mo pag hindi ka pumunta sa lugar na to. Kumbaga, ito yung alas ng Coron. May mga activities na pwedeng gawin dito tulad ng snorkeling, cliff diving, and of course, island hopping. Ang second sa bodies of water ay ang Kipot River. The water is so clear that you can easily see the depth of Kipot River, making it easy to see exactly where to aim your jump. Ang Kipot River ay located sa Romblon. Sinasabi, ang Kipot River, bago ka makapunta sa lugar na ito, madami kang madadaanang bedrocks, and yung way niya sobrang kipot, kaya sinabing Kipot River. Best suited to sa mga adventure travelers na naghahanap ng adrenaline rush. Then kasi, bakit sinabing recommended siya sa adventure travelers? Kasi bago ka pumunta sa lugar na ito, meron kang mini hiking na may experience. The third one is Libao Lake, named after the abundance of white lotus called Lipwa. Libao Lake is one of the finest and clearest island body of water in the country frequented by nature tourists. Ang Libao Lake ay located sa Sablayan, Occidental Mindoro. But ito ay 1-hour drive mula sa town proper nito. Based on my experience, libre ang entrance fee sa lugar na to. Kumbaga cottage lang yung kailangan yung bayaran. Sa spot na to, sobrang relaxing. Tapos, yung mga activities na pwede mong gawin, pwede ka mag-kayaking and birdwatching. Pumunta naman tayo sa popular landforms na Region 4B. First is the Mount Iglit Baco National Park. Mount Iglit is located in Mindoro is definitely a hike worthy to be discovered. Aside from its scenic landscape, river crossings, steep ridges, and vast lands, the park is also home of the endemic tamaraw, which is one of the most seriously endangered large mammals. Trek along its trail have the chance to witness these mammals. Meron pa ring ibang activities bukod sa hiking and camera watching. Pwede din kayong mag-bird watching sa lugar na to. Bukod doon, may mga ibang animals din na nakatira dito tulad ng Philippine deer, wild pigs, Mindoro cloud rat at iba't ibang uri ng birds. The next one is the Mount Halcon. It's a mountain located in the island of Mindoro in the Philippines. It makes it the 18th highest peak in the Philippines. Ang Mount Halcon ay located sa Oriental Mindoro, one of the majestic mountains and best hiking destinations in the Philippines. Sa kabila ng pagiging isa sa best hiking destination, isa rin itong accident-prone area pagdating sa hiking. Kaya recommended na gustong akyatin to, kumuha po sila ng tour guide. Ang sinasabi, 20 climbers per day lang ang kailangan or ang ina-allowed na pumunta sa Mount Halcon. And ang recommended na time na pumunta sila is mid-January until the end of May. The next one is Mount Malindig. As for the name itself, Malindig, it is linguistically descriptive as the gentle slopes of the characterize the mountain, as well as the island high areas. Tulad ng dalawang mountain na binanggit ko kanina, kumbaga sa Mount Malindig, ito yung easy to climb, parang ganon. Madaling akyatin kumpara sa dalawa. Recommended na summertime akyatin to kasi nagiging sobrang maputik pag rainy season. Nung unang panahon, ginagamit ito bilang isang military outpost. Ngayon, considered na siya as inactive volcano, kaya pwede nang umakyat yung tao at mag-trek. Maganda din ang location ng lugar na to, which is sa Marinduque, kasi may panorama view sila ng Mindoro, Verde Island, Southern Luzon, at ang Bicol and Versailles Islands. Ito naman tayo sa prominent person that came from the region. First is Miss Chara Santos Concho. Siya ay ang media executive and actress. Siya din ay isang long-time host ng ABS-CBN program na Maalaala Mo Kaya, which is the longest-running TV drama anthology. Gumanap din siya ng isang madre or multo sa movie na Eerie. At isa din siya naging president siya ng ABS-CBN network. The next one is Carlos Loizaga. Pareho po sila ni Ms. Charo Santos Concho, or pareho silang tatlo na nabanggit kong prominent person, lahat sila ay nanggaling sa Oriental Mindoro. Siguro sa panahon or generation natin ngayon, hindi na natin siya kilala because namayapa na po ang greatest Filipino basketball player of all time. Naging FIBA World Championship, sumali po tayo sa FIBA World Championship noong October 22. At isa po siya, or kasama siya sa naging Mythical 5 nito. Ang mga nakalaban natin noon na bansa ay ang US, Brazil, Peru, at Chile. Ang FIBA World Cup na ginanapan niya or sinalihan niya ay ginanap sa Argentina. The last one is si Mr. Noli De Castro. Siya po ay kilala bilang kabayan. Nagsimula po ang career niya simula ng Marcos dictatorship. Siya ay isang journalist, politician noong 2001, simula ng termino ng dating Pangulong si Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Isa din siyang news presenter. Nakikita siya natin noon sa programa ng DZMM at TV Patrol. Gaya ng dalawang nauna, nanggaling din siya sa Pola, Oriental Mindoro. Naging TV host din siya ng dating prime, naging TV host din siya ng program noon sa TV Patrol na Gandang Gabi Bayan.
Okay, so for tonight, I'll be discussing the human geography. So at first, i-share screen ko muna. Yan, where it is. Okay. Okay na? Nakikita nyo na? Okay, so, and now I'm here again to discuss the human geography of Mimaropa, also known as the Southwestern Tagalog region, Region 4B. So, okay, so at first, when we say the words human geography, what comes to your mind? Miss Garciliano, Miss Florida, what comes into your mind when we say the words human geography?
Sa idea ko ng human geography, ito yung geography, yun yung mga nangyari nung unang panahon. And yung mga tao na, ito yung ginagawa nila, yung mga kultura nila noon.
Okay, thank you for your timely thought. Basically, kapag sinabi nating human geography, tumutukoy ito sa sangay ng heograpiya, sa kung paano kumukonekta at nakakaapekto at nakaka-impluwensya rin ang bawat aktibidad ng mga tao sa ibabaw ng mundo o kung paminsan ay sa nasabing rehiyon. And now, let's identify the top 6 tourist attraction in Mimaropa. Siyempre, kapag sinabi nating top 6, ito yung 6 na tanyag o popular sa nasabing rehiyon pagdating sa attraction ng turista. And when we say the words tourist attractions, of course, it is a place of interests where we as tourists visit, typically for its inherent and exhibited natural or cultural value. So for our first tourist attraction na siyang matatagpuan sa Mimaropa, ito ay tinatawag na Apo Reef National Marine Park. Yeah. So ang Apo Reef National Marine Park ay located sa Sablayan, Occidental, Mindoro. Apo Reef is a coral reef system in the Philippines, situated on the western waters of Occidental Mindoro. Mindoro province in the Mindoro Strait, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, tama. Also encompassing 34 square kilometers, and it is considered as the world's second largest contiguous coral reef system and is the largest in the Philippines, which is our country. Okay, so as what you can see on your screen right now is the island named Ambolong. That's located in Occidental Mindoro, province of the Philippines and part of the municipality of San Jose. You know what, fellow aspiring flight attendants? In 1919, Ambolong Island was described as, take note of this, hilly and well-wooded area. So pag sinabi nating hilly and well-wooded area, what does it mean? So of course, pwedeng pumasok dito ang mga terms na timbered or forested area, tree covered, and having many hills area, right? So also in 1919, its elevation at the northern part of the island was recorded at 567 feet. So if magkakaroon tayo ng conversion sa pagitan ng feet to meter, tinatayam na aabot ito sa sukat na 173 meters. Okay, so for our third tourist attraction is of course our beloved Palad Sandbar that's located in Maniwaya Island, Marinduque, Philippines. And as what you can see on your screen right now, Palad Sandbar features powdery white sand that flash through the crystal clear waters which appears during a low tide season or low tide day. So yeah, Palad Sandbar is one of the kind places for outdoor enthusiasts and beach goers, and it's advisable to go there in the morning when the tide is usually low. So you can reach Sandbar via a 30-minute boat ride from Maniwaya. So for our fourth tourist attraction is the Unga Brac Formation that's located in Santa Cruz, Marinduque, Philippines. The Unga Brac Formation is one of the most iconic natural landmark of the province of Marinduque. So its most characteristic feature is the arc formed through years of erosion. So ano ba pag sinabi nating arc formed? Syempre, it's look like a rainbow, right? And take note of this, classmates, that the Unga Brac Formation stands next to a beach and is surrounded by clear blue and turquoise waters. For our fifth tourist attraction, it is called the Kayangan Lake of Coron Island. Okay, so Kayangan Lake is located in the province of Palawan, a crystal clear freshwater lake in Coron, featuring underwater rock formations, cave and even islets. And yes, it is a popular spot for photographers for fairly obvious reasons, and is said to be the cleanest lake in all of the Philippines. The water there, or the lake, is so clear that you can often see down to a depth of 10 meters, enabling even non-swimmers from viewpoints around the lake. Okay, so for our sixth and last tourist attraction, of course, we have the Tubataha Reef, which located in Puerto Princesa, and it is called the natural park that's na talagang scenic beauty na matatagpuan natin sa Mimaropa, lalo higit sa lugar ng Puerto Princesa. And it is in the middle of the Sulu Sea. The marine and bird sanctuary consists of two huge atolls and the smaller Jessie Brisley Reef, covering a total area of 97,030 hectares. So what's special about this area ba? Tubataha Reef Natural Park is listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site, inscription in the year 1993. So at first, let's know first and understand what UNESCO is all about. So UNESCO is also known as the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, and it is a specialized agency of the United Nations aimed at promoting world peace and security through international cooperation in education and the science and culture. And in order to be included on the World Heritage lists, sites must be outstanding universal value and meet at least 1 of 10 selection criteria. And I will not discuss or tackle those guidelines or the operational guidelines. Pero what I know about it is the World Heritage Convention, which besides the text of the convention is the main working tool on World Heritage, and luckily Tubataha Reef Natural Park is passed. So, but you know what? Tourism 1A, there are 2 tentative nominees, and these are the Apu Reef Natural Park and Coron Island Natural Biotic Area, and hoping na maipasa din ng dalawang nasabing area ang UNESCO World Heritage list. And now I'll be tackling the distinctive culture and language that the Mimaropans has. Okay, so in terms of the native of Mimaropa, these are as follows. Alangan, Asi, Buhid, Kalamian, Tagbanwa, Kuyonon, Hanunu, Hiligaynon, Iraya, Onhan, Palawano, Romblanon, Tadiawan, Tagalog, Tausug, and Taubid. Question. Mr. Galvez, bakit ang dami lang ginagamit na language? So the answer to that question is, it is just because there are lots of indigenous communities or even groups in Mimaropa. Ngunit kahit patuloy ang pag-usbong ng kanilang komunidad, hindi pa rin nawawala sa kanila ang kulturang Pilipino at ang Tagalog ang wikang Tagalog. Kasi at first, alam naman natin, di ba, na ito ang nagsisilbing primary language in order for them, the Mimaropans, to communicate well. And besides, nasa Luzon pa rin sila. At ika nga ni Juan de Plasencia, ang nilalaman ng The Customs of the Tagalogs, sinasabi niyang ang mga taong naninirahan sa Pilipinas, lalo't higit ang nasa parting Luzon, ay ang mga Tagalog. At tinawag niya itong Tagalog. Kaya't hindi nakapagtataka na hanggang ngayon ay Tagalog ang primary ang gamit nating mga nasa parting Luzon, even our co-brothers and co-sisters who live in Mimaropa. And now let's identify and let's talk about the culture in Mimaropa. We all know that Mimaropa is ancient and a very well-known region in terms of arts, cultures, na talaga namang tinatangkilik nating mga Pilipino. Even foreign folks, alam yan ang nakararami. It is home to indigenous people, and the Mangyans survived in Mindoro. They speak 7 different languages, and these are the Iraya, Alangan, Tambuid, Hanunu, Tadiawan, Buhid, and Ratagnon. And as what I've discussed a while ago, kaya naman kinilala ang Mimaropa sa tawag na Gintong Binhi, kasi isa itong programa upang mas mapaganda, mas mapalawak, at mas mapaunlad pa ang kakayahan pagdating sa kultura ng mga taong naninirahan sa Mimaropa na siyang isinasagawa ng bawat individual na naninirahan dito. At hanggang sa ngayon ay patuloy pa rin ang pagpapalawak at pagpapaganda sa nasabing programa. At ang programang iyon ay ang tinatawag na Gintong Binhi. And now let's talk about gastronomy and let's identify the most popular food in the region. Of course, we all know naman na kapag sinabing gastronomy, it is the study of the relationship between food and culture and the cooking styles of the particular regions. So yeah, let us identify the top 3 popular food in Mimaropa. At first, meron silang tinatawag na bibingkang lalaki. Very heterosexually, right? So it is directly translated as male bibingka in English. Instead of yeast, the bibingkang lalaki is made with tuba, or in English, the coconut wine, which makes the inside moist and pudding-like. After all, coconut and other byproducts are Marinduque's source of income as the province's agricultural produce. Of course, they also have what they called Boknoy Siopaw of Romblon. So, what's special about this is siopaw ba? Unlike any other siopaw, Boknoy Siopaw is different from the typical asado and bola-bola types of siopaw. Because of its sauce, one could eat without the messy and hassle application of the siopaw sauce, and the Boknoy Siopaw is currently only found in Romblon Island. Pero kung tutuusin, kung titingnan natin yung larawang yan, parang normal pa rin naman kasi merong ibang regions, just like Calabarzon, nagre-release din sila ng mga siopaw na yung sauce ay nasa loob na din. Meron nga tayong tinatawag na dito sa Calabarzon, meron nga tayong tinatawag na toasted siopaw na siya namang talagang patok lalo't higit sa ating mga Batanggenyo, sa mga kagaya nating Batanggenyo. So lastly is the tamilok. Tamilok is a woodworm that lives in mangroves. Yes, it is a worm. But surprisingly, they are the mollusks that taste like oysters, just longer and slimier. They are cleaned and dipped in a vinegar and served raw. I know that's quite disgusting because of its external appearance or physical appearance, but according to the Palawano, the food is best as appetizer and pulutan. So malimit siyang ginagamit or kinakain kapag may mga handaan or mga festivals sa lugar ng Palawan. And now, let's proceed to the last part of my discussion about the human geography in Mimaropa, the most popular festival. You know what? I've searched lots of festivals before regarding to the most popular festivals in Mimaropa. And I found out na there are lots of festivals there, such as Biniray Festival, Dugoy Festival, and even Palaweño Festival. But at the same time, I just realized na it's not that loud or well-known. Kilala sila pagdating sa lugar ng Mimaropa. Pero kung i-generalize natin dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ganun kakilala ang Biniray Festival, ang Dugoy Festival, or even ang Palaweño Festival. So anong kilala dito? Siyempre, as far as I know, Moriones Festival ay isa sa mga tinatangkilik at kasali sa top 10 lists ng top festivals dito sa Pilipinas. And ito ay isineselebrate from Holy Monday to Easter Sunday on the island of Marinduque, Philippines. The men and women are in the costumes and masks replicating the garb of biblical Roman soldiers as interpreted by the local folks. And these are the extra slides. You can see here na kung gaano talaga ang pagkataniyag ng rehiyon ng Mimaropa sa ating bansang Pilipinas. And that ends my presentation about the human geography, our global identity. And now all together, let us watch this video, our audio-visual presentation that's created by our group, the Mimaropa, the Southwestern Region, Region 4B.
Mimaropa, a brightly shining home.
And that ends our presentation for tonight. I hope you've learned a lot. Thank you and God bless.